What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about another non-update update. And what I mean by that, of course, is we still don't have anything tangible. There's no trailer. There's no screenshots. There's no release day, release year even. I guess at this point, it's absolutely not guaranteed that this game behind me is coming out in 2025. In fact, I'd bet against it. But you still get confirmation from Insomniac themselves that they're hard at work and they'll give us an update when they can give us an update. And I made a video, I think, on Podcast Now about the last time they did this a few months ago. And, I will say it's getting a little tiring when this is like the only thing that's happening, but that kind of all plays into the story, right? It's a complicated situation, and it's something that I wouldn't really want to be a part of myself, but we still don't know what the leaks have done to them, and I'm positive it can't be anything else, and if it is, we need to know. It has to be that, right, in terms of just really royally messing with how they've been doing this. Either that or something is severely wrong internally with that Wolverine team. It's got to be one of those two. So what we're here to talk about is people pushed, again, and one pushed very nicely and another pushed not so nicely, and they both got responses. And this is something that I think we talked about last time, where it's like, again, tough spot, like Insomniac, like, they want to be, just from like a business, you don't want to come off like a jerk, on social media, but I feel like you can tell even whoever runs that Twitter is getting tired of it and is able to kind of push back, within reason. So they were asked by Strange that they know that you guys are hard at work for Wolverine, but the community would love just a crumb of information. Good try. You're never going to get anything that way, though. And they said, we're working on it. We'll share more info when it's ready and when we're able. That said, our day is great. Hope yours is too. And then even just really recently from when I'm recording this, they had another person post, I don't think this game even exists anymore. Now, no likes, no quote tweets. It had 78 impressions at the time I'm looking at it. And they say it very much exists and is actively being made. This is something that, like, again, that's not really all that aggressive. They're not swearing. They're not insulting. But that's one of those kind of like pushback things where I feel like I feel like that kind of shows us a lot about their mentality. And it's not like a negative thing. I find it to be quite interesting, where it's like you don't really respond to people like that. And not to make it like all about followers and social media impressions, but this is a person that had literally nothing. There's no likes, there's no quotes, there's no impressions. People don't even see this tweet. Because they quote tweeted it, though, obviously Insomniac is obviously, given a notification and they, go from there. Just feels weird to even respond to that in the first place. But again, I kind of feel like that gives away, their mentality, where it's like they are probably tired of it. They're probably, and I think they're doing it as respectfully as they can, but you can tell it's like, oh my dear God, like it is real. We're looking at it on the screen to our right. You know what I mean? Like we're playing it, as we speak. So it's clearly real. At the same time, I can't really fault people for going too hard on them within reason. No doxing. They've already had that stuff happen with the leaks and stuff. It's a catch-22, because I also am not a fan of how any of this stuff was handled, leak or no leak, or a hack, I should say, right? Like what happened to them or not, this is not how you do it. This is quickly approaching a game that goes into the history books of exactly how you don't do things. You do not announce your game at this point almost 4 years ago. 4 years, reveal trailer, nothing since. That's one of the worst examples. Like when you get past 2 or 3, really probably 3 years and on, you start to become, in a way, a laughingstock. And you see things with like Star Wars Eclipse. I always talk about like Tomb Raider. You had Crisis 4, and now we know that game is actually canceled, or at least put on ice, maybe never to be touched again. These are games that were announced 3, 4, 5 years ago. BioShock, announced I think 6 years ago. These are games that are not good. Now, like some of them could come out and be fine, but they're not good examples of how you should do it. You don't do that, at least not anymore. People don't put up with it anymore. So within reason, pushback, I feel like is totally fine as well. It's why it's a tough situation. They might want to do something, and it's actually, when I made the video the first time, and you look at that first response they did to the nice person, right? And they responded nicely. You notice they keep saying when we're able to. And I think the last time I made a video about this, that was part of their response too, where basically like their rights hold, like whoever's in charge of them that decides when to show it, that plays a part as well. It's not just like, oh, we feel like announcing something today. There's a time and a place. And they said that like a month or two ago when I first covered it, and now they just did it again, when we're able to. It's not just when, when we feel like it. Like that was kind of part one, right? When they're like the game is at a somewhat like complete phase where they can make a trailer or whatever. That's the part one. But part two is like when we're able to. That doesn't sound like it's up to them. And so, why I throw that in there, there's larger forces at play here. There's PlayStation. Literally, it's PlayStation. PlayStation probably plays a key role in deciding when they're going to show off this thing. So that's something else that kind of just, muddies the waters. It's not a good situation. It's not. It's quickly becoming, and it has continued to be, almost a laughing stock again. And like, don't do this, please, ever again. But then you kind of get it because of like what happened to them. So there's kind of like a pretty valid excuse. But then, we just haven't gotten anything, and it might not even be up to them in the first place of why we haven't gotten anything. So it's just a mess. Honestly, it's just a whole mess just in general. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.